Hi, everybody. We'll wait for a few more people to chime in here. Welcome, YouTube and Twitch. I'm going to have both of them running tonight. And let's make sure my chat box is working. My chat box is not working on my stream. Let's get that fixed right quick. Hey, everybody. I'm going to wait just a few minutes to see if we can get some more viewers on here. And then I'm going to cover over the latest information that I have for the storms tomorrow. Yeah, I need a fan to kind of blow my hair. Hey, Jen. Hey, Danette. Oh, wow, Danette. Thank you for joining me, man. I appreciate that, girl. And for some reason, my chat's not working. Joshua, thank you. Let's get a few more people on here. I don't know why my chat's not working. It worked yesterday. Doggone it. Hi from Dallas, Texas. Boy, do I got some information for you for tomorrow. Well, yeah, I had the chat working last night. It was popping up, on my stream, and for some reason it's not there. Let me check my. Let me make sure. Okay, apparently I gotta reauthorize it. Hang on just a minute. Let me get this reauthorized. I don't know why I need to do this again. And I gotta wait for it to send me a token. I had so many things going earlier. Ended up helping a neighbor with her car. And then Stephen was live streaming. I was trying to kind of wait for him to get done, but he's got his thing going on today. And I did get an answer back from Stephen. He's going to try and chase down in Texas tomorrow. Yeah, I need to. I think I need to do chroma key on this. Ah, I'm not getting my transparency. I tell you what, man, it got so nice out today. Oh Lord. Yeah, I've got my YouTube going. I don't have that chat up at the moment. There we go. Okay, now I can turn around and get the other computer over on my YouTube chat. Had snow showers. Oh Lord! Don't mention them kind of words around me. I don't want to see no more of those. Okay, I think we got enough here to get started, and I'm not sure how many I got over on YouTube, but I am watching the chat again tonight, like I did last night. So, like I said last night, there was over 400 storm reports. Over 440 of those was on Sunday, of all things. Last I heard, over 500. Excuse me, over 500 storm reports all total for Saturday and Sunday. And last confirmation I got is 53 tornadoes. Still 8 dead. They haven't upped that number. So let me do something here. Got to do something real quick here. Don't you hate it when I'm not ready? But I'm running a little bit late tonight. I did up my audio a little bit. I noticed on my stream replays that it was a little weak last night. Is it sound okay? Oh man, my one computer's running hot. Oh, thank you. So let's go ahead and get started. And I tell you what, the let me switch back over here to main. The SPC changed overnight, and then it changed again today, and I want to cover that. And I got a little presentation that I'll show here in a bit, the difference. And I tell you what's really sad is the fact that the very same areas that had a lot of tornadoes over Saturday and Sunday is going to get nailed for tomorrow and Thursday. And prayers for all those people down there. So I tell you what, let me go ahead and bring the presentation up first, and I've got it ready. Let me bring up my screen, Max. Okay, this is just for Saturday. Okay, this is a map of all the tornado report. All the red dots are tornado reports from Saturday. That's been confirmed so far. Now, just to show you. Okay, this is what the SPC had this morning for the enhanced, and you can see I'm doing an overlay here. Get on the right layer. You can see where that is, okay? And when I change the opacity on it and kind of fade it out here, you can see how it goes right over top of where the other storm reports and confirmed tornadoes was. So let's turn that layer off and go to the present SPC. I've had to redo this like 3 times today, but I'll bring the opacity up and overlay. This is the present enhanced as of right now, and you can see how much that's changed, and it still goes right over top there in Texas where those tornadoes was. Okay, let me drop that out, and I'll go for day 3. Was this morning's SPC where they had a slight for Thursday, and you can see how that goes, man, right over top of Mississippi and Alabama's confirmed tornado reports. But they changed it again. So let me bring up the present layer. And they've added an enhanced for Thursday already. I mean, that's, 2 days out. Well, on day 3. And I'll bring the opacity down a little bit on this overlay, and you can see how that's covering right over top of a lot of confirmed tornadoes. And those people were devastated enough down there. And here they're going to get another round. Now, this is liable to change, through tomorrow for Thursday. But this is the latest SPC. So there you go on that. I figured I'd bring that up and show it to you guys. It's a little crude, but and it took me a little while to do that. And like I said, I had to redo it 3 times today so far. And it's really bad that it's going to cover those same areas. Now let me go ahead and bring up the SPC page. And I'll turn on the cities, and you can see here the cities that's going to be affected. But a lot of this is going to happen after dark, and I really hate that. I would rather it happen during the daytime, because a huge percentage of tornado deaths are from night tornadoes. And those will probably spark a little early, but let's check the models, and it's close enough now to where I can start looking at the HRRR, but not quite. So for tonight, I'm going to go ahead and stick with the new NAM model, and I'll go across. This is future radar from the NAM Nest, or the new NAM. Hey everybody for joining me, thank you. And you can see it starting to pop up there in the panhandle of Oklahoma and that. This is that 0Z. which in Central Time, 0Z is going to be 7 o'clock at night. Well, actually, they start popping there in the panhandle of Texas before 7 o'clock. But the real game is going to be this line here. This is at 04Z, which is going to be 11 o'clock at night. And it looks like it's going to line out and go linear right there. And I hate to see that because there are going to be pretty spin up tornadoes on the leading edge of that and a lot of high winds. And then you can see up here how that starts bowing out in Tennessee. That's 11Z for Thursday. That bowing out is the winds pushing the storm out. And those can still produce brief tornadoes on the leading edge, but there's going to be a lot of high wind damage and hail. And like I was saying last night, we're still got this dry line, and I'll show you on satellite here in a bit. But this dry line is going to overrun the surface air and moisture, and the moisture content is going to be high. I mean, really high. But with this dry air, it's going to be going over about 10,000 feet, and it's going to really put a cap on it. And that's the reason why these storms are firing up so late of a night. And eventually, like the models are showing there, later in the day, the cap's going to break, and that's when the storms will really pop. Now, if I look at CAPE, which CAPE is your potential energy, and let me go back over the models here, and let me go across. There's going to be a lot of CAPE and a lot of shear at right around this point here, and that's at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So the potential energy's there, and the shear is going to be there. But with that cap on, it's not going to break that early. I would rather it break that early in that area, less populated area than that. But then as the later, we go, then it starts pushing over towards Dallas after dark. Hey, you might want to refresh, Becky. I'm on the models again.
Talking about the models.
Yeah, Becky, you might want to refresh because I'm sitting there watching both of my live streams, and I'm showing the cape and the chair right now.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, mine froze. I got it now.
So let's go to the supercell composite, and that doesn't start looking really good until about right there in parts of Oklahoma. This is going to be right around 18Z, which is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So, and then blows up from there. But it gets really strong at 01Z, which is 8 o'clock of a night. And I just really dread this being a nighttime situation. And then I'll go ahead and look at the supercell composite. I mean, the tornado, significant tornado risk. And there you can see it starts blowing up. But this is going to be 22Z, which is 5 o'clock Central Time. And then really gets strong at 01Z. Just like the composite supercell composite starts showing. You can see that purple there. That's a real strong, significant tornado risk right in that same area where the Cape showed. It looks pretty good. I looked at the updraft helicities, and they look pretty good as well. Let's go ahead and do an updraft helicity swath and get over here. And you can see it starting to pop really good right there. Again, after dark. And but let's go back to Cape. And let's go back up to okay, there's ONZ. And the Cape is really strong. I mean, really strong at that point. So the potential energy's there. The moisture's going to be there. The temps are definitely going to be there. It's just got to bust through that cap. I mean, we're liable to see some 2,500 to 4,000 kilojoules. So everything's going to be there except for the cap. So if it can, these things are going to change between today and tomorrow. But right now, it's more of a nighttime situation because of that cap. But if it can bust that cap early, there'll be daytime storms. And let's go ahead and show you the satellite view. Now this would be the current satellite view from the Goes East satellite. It's still daylight out west. And if you look, there's circulation about right in here. That's where the low is going to be. That should be about where the current low is, and put it in motion, and you can kind of see right in there where it's starting to swirl. Now I'm going to zoom out and kind of show you something. Watch the cloud directions here, and you can kind of get an idea where the jet stream is. I'll let it finish loading all the tiles up since I zoomed out. I love looking at satellite view. I love it. You can tell a lot about a system just by looking at satellite view. Okay, you can see how the clouds down here are going northeast. And then see this open spot? That's a dry slot. Now the low's back up here, if you can still see my pointer. That's where the low is. And there's a trough. Let me see if I can zoom in on this and explain it. Okay, the low is about right here, okay? Then this program's hung up, won't let me do it. But there's a trough right down through here, okay? So what's happening is everything's trying to circulate around this low and then go up. So let me switch programs here. And I'll bring you over to GR Earth, and I want to show you the water vapor. Now remember, like I've told you in the past, the gold and browns, that's all dry air. And as you can see here, and I'll zoom in on this. Okay, the low is going to be around that area right now. And you can see how this dry air is starting to feed in and come up. That's going to create the dry line and push across. The dry line out ahead of it will have a lot of the moisture coming in, and you can see that starting to form already with the blues. That's the moisture that's being pulled up, and tomorrow we'll have more of the moisture pulling up from the south, and we're going to have some decent winds here for tomorrow. But this dry line, the bad thing about the dry line for tomorrow is the dry line is going to overtake um, the moisture and produce that cap at 10,000 feet and up. Very most likely, this will end up being a huge hail producer because of that dry air, and then it's really cold air up above the dry line or the dry air at 10,000, and it's really moist up there. So that will help in the lift of the hail to kind of keep it growing. So it's very big potential in Dallas, and that which has about a 50% chance of tornadoes tomorrow, the same as Oklahoma City. But I think this is going to be a real big hail producer. But there you can kind of see where the jet stream is. With that dry air feeding down and then wrapping up, that kind of gives you an idea where the jet stream is. I mean, we got one jet stream down here. We got this jet stream down here. Okay. And then you got this trough building. Let me zoom out a little bit. And we got this trough building right here, but the jet stream is wrapping around, and again, the low's right in here, and that's kind of steering the system the way it is right now. Now, for those of you who don't know what a trough and a ridge is, a trough is whenever you see on satellite, the trough is going south in loops. Now over here we've got a ridge, somewhat of a ridge going right now. We got a high pressure system that's down in this area, and whenever it goes up like that and down, that's a ridge. But if you look at those clouds right there, you can really see. Now here's another disturbance out here, right there. But you can really see where the jet stream is taking things, and you can see up in here how it's going over top of a ridge. And now here's been something else that I've been keeping an eye on. Yeah, it's too early for hurricane season yet, but you can start to see some systems starting to build coming off of Africa. That's where our hurricanes always come from, is when there's a disturbance in Western Africa and comes out. Yeah, there's nothing going on like right now. Now up here, this is the system that caused the tornadoes. Over the weekend, I'm sitting here glancing over the chat. Now, right now, I'll turn the satellite off and zoom in here. The only thing that's getting any kind of storms right now is out here in Arizona, and that's because of that low pressure system that's going to be causing all the damage tomorrow. There you can see they're not very strong storms. There's some down around Tucson and that, but that's all because of this low that's out here. Actually, it's starting to enter into Arizona. But that's what's going to be bringing us our bad weather tomorrow. But looking at the updraft helicity, that's pretty strong. And, like I've said before, SLIM, acronym for shear, lift, instability, and moisture. And we've got all of that. The shear this time is going to be a lot stronger than what it was this past weekend, I think. Not so much in the directional shear, but the speed shear, definitely. So we're going to have our shear. The lift, looking at the cape and the helicities, we're going to have a lot of lift. Definitely got a lot of moisture and temperature. So the problem's going to be the cap. And Philip, I don't know what your plans is for tomorrow. I suppose you're probably thinking western Oklahoma. Yeah, exactly. Like I showed here a little bit, if you didn't catch it, and I see my camera's froze. Oh, duck on it. Yeah, I just turned the camera off. For some reason, my camera froze. It's probably because I got my security camera on the same computer. Sometimes it's too battle. I've got all 7 ports running on one of my hubs, but if that cap bust, and Philip will agree with this, if that cap bust early, man, we could have some major storms in Oklahoma and Texas. Weather Channel has given a Torcon of 5 for Oklahoma City and Dallas, and Torcon's a 5 means a 50% chance within 50 miles. Yeah, the models were showing some discrete cells there in western Oklahoma, but with that cap, from the dry line, I just right now it's just not looking all that great for daytime storms. As far as any real strong storms. Um, Let me go back to the models here, and I mean, there's a tornado risk, popping up south of Dallas right there. That's at 19Z, which would be 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But the real strong chance of tornadoes is going to be right there, and that's at 02Z, which is 9 o'clock at night. As this whole system moves east, and let me bring up the SPC, and yeah, Kansas City is you can see Kansas City's in a slight risk, so definitely going to get some storms that far north. This is for tomorrow, by the way, but as this whole system moves east, it's going to affect a whole bunch of people. I mean, I'm going to get thunderstorms on Friday from this system. Most of the severe is from like Paducah, Kentucky, south for Thursday, and okay, here's Thursday. There's Thursday's risk. Which I was hoping it would the slight would move a little bit further north. It kind of had it further north the other night. It actually had southern Indiana and southern half of Illinois in it, but now they shrunk it down. It's just a marginal up that far north, and you can see the slight. And let me turn on the cities here and zoom in, and that gives you a better idea. Of for Thursday, the cities that's going to be affected. And now this is all off the SPC or the Storm Prediction Center's webpage right there. So after they changed it so much since last night, I figure I better get on here tonight and give you all a little bit of an update. I do have a lot of friends down there in Texas and Oklahoma. This just upsets me. My camera's not working. Yeah, it still froze. Doggone it. Yeah, it's still a high risk for Dallas and that. If the storms don't break the cap and fire up early, it's going to be a nighttime event. And that's what really worries me about a lot of people um, down there. If it happens of a night, it's so dangerous. These nighttime tornadoes, a huge percentage of all tornado deaths are from nighttime tornadoes, and they do happen more of a night down in the south than anywhere else in the United States. I do use pivotal weather sometimes, Philip. I last time I tried getting on pivotal, I was having troubles with it. The page didn't want to load up. I don't know if it's because so many people. Um, I don't know if it's so many people getting on it trying to use it at the same time or what. So that's the reason why I went back to College to do page. Oh, chasing at night is just flat dangerous. I mean, I've done it before. I'll never do it again. And especially down south, and especially when you get down Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama, man, with those tall trees down there and narrow roads, you get down in there and try to chase a tornado overnight, you'll never see one coming, not even with lightning strikes. So that's kind of all I think that I need to tell you all about. Like I said, there was 53 confirmed tornadoes. Now I seen somebody on Facebook post that there was an EF5 tornado. There was not. The strongest tornado over Saturday and Sunday was an EF3, and there was three of those. That was the strongest tornado. So watch Facebook, guys. There's been people, posting um, baloney. I'll say it nicely. And I couldn't believe that it was another storm chaser that posted that. So, is there any questions? I'm not. I'm not really going to look, Philip. I'm really not going to look at HRRR till later, um, because I'm not real confident in the latest model run. Yeah, the cap's going to break in the late evening, and very large hail possible. That's what I was saying a little while ago. Maybe that's before you came on, but I really think this is going to be a huge hail producer. Uh, because of that dry line air that's going to be overriding the surface air at 10,000 or so feet. Um, that's going to kind of help the hail to stay up there until it gets cold enough and large enough to fall. I really think it's going to be a huge hail producer. I waited about streaming an extra hour trying to get the latest run of the HRRR, and I'm just not confident in it just yet. I'll probably start looking at it late tonight, and and then I might turn around and do another live stream in the morning with an update. Since it'll be closer and the HRRR will be more accurate for me to stream the HRRR. I talked to Stephen and Corey about an hour or so ago. They plan on chasing down in Texas tomorrow. Not sure about Nathan. I really think he might be under the weather and may not go. And I'm not sure, Becky, is there anybody else that we know of that might be down there other than Philip and Stephen and Corey? Yeah, no doubt, Philip, buddy. I'll definitely be on tomorrow. And I'm sorry I didn't get to help you on Saturday. I was on another channel helping Nathan, Stephen, and Corey. And Brandon Hubbard. Cool. So, well, we should have at least three chasers out. I'm sure there'll be more. Whether they'll be live streaming, I don't know. But like I've told you guys before, if you haven't done it already, there's the web link for the team channel on Twitch. And that you go to that page, and anybody in the list that's got a red dot next to it will be streaming live. So, yeah, Jen, you still on here? You still thinking Paducah for Thursday? She's gone. Oh, doggone it. I'll catch up with her later. Good possibility Jennifer McMahon will be chasing in Paducah, Kentucky for Thursday. Knowing her, she might go down into Tennessee. And if she gets real excited, she'll be going even further south. Well, she hasn't made up her mind yet. I got the feeling she will come tomorrow. Good night, Philip. Buddy, I'll touch base with you tomorrow for sure. I'll have the Zello chase channels turned on, man. You get fired up, let me know. So, folks, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I really don't have that much more to tell you right now. Um, and I'm really torqued that my camera is froze. I guess I'm so ugly it broke the camera. So I'm going to call it a night. Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. YouTube. Oh, I'm sorry I missed somebody on my YouTube. Yeah, I got time for a question. Go ahead on YouTube. And as far as Tulsa, let me bring that back up on the SPC. Tulsa's not out of the question. You know, Tulsa's up there in the slight, close to being enhanced. Oh yeah, by the way, there is a hatch 30% for tomorrow on that enhanced risk. Yeah, Mary on my YouTube, if you're still with me, go ahead and ask your question, and I'll take care of it real quick. Yeah, thanks, Sparrow, but you're lying. Well, I see my scenes on my XSplit is frozen. There we go. Western Oklahoma, if there's any chance for an early storm, yeah, Western Oklahoma is going to be it. I mean, you know, like I was showing a little bit ago, the updraft helicity is there. The potential energy or cape is there, and the shear is going to be there. It just all depends on the cap, and I'll know more in the morning about the cap. Radar does not pick up clouds. It picks up precipitation. Okay, that's the reason why the radar doesn't pick up clouds. And it all depends on which radar you're on. It's going to show, you know, your precipitation. Sometimes if you're on Tulsa and you know the storm is right there at Tulsa, you gotta change your tilt up to a higher tilt. Because the radar beam is actually shooting underneath the storm. So you got to raise your tilt up a few degrees to try to capture the storm, if that's what you're talking about, the radar not showing the storm. When you get real close to a radar site, then that will happen. Your radar beam's actually shooting under at the 0.5 degree. The radar beam that close to the radar is actually shooting underneath the storm. So you got to raise your tilt up. Oh yeah, Goes is amazing. Oh, I love Goes, but I've been having trouble with Goes 17 Force um, until after daylight. Um, Once it's daylight, then Goes 17 data seems to be okay, but I get a lot of streaks. And let me switch over to Go 17 here. Now, Go 17 right there looks pretty nice. But this morning before daylight out in the west, it was just nothing but streaks going across the screen. And I've been having that the last 2 days. Okay, folks, so I want to go ahead and call it a night. It's pretty warm in my apartment right now, and my computers are overheating, and I think that's the reason why everything's starting to freeze up. I got to get my fan back from my neighbor. So, so for now, thanks everybody for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope I was able to inform you of what you need to know. If you live in the affected areas for tomorrow, please be weather aware and take shelter before you actually get the storms coming at you. You know, make a plan and be ready for it before it gets to you, especially in Oklahoma and Texas for tomorrow. And then any of those that are living in Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama, stay tuned to your local news, the Weather Channel if you can get it. I'll try to keep you informed as much as I can. And stay tuned for a storm chase tomorrow. And I want everybody to stay safe. So, until tomorrow, we'll catch you on this next chase. Thanks, everybody.